Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. Honored to be connecting in with you. And today, in honor of Valentine's Day and a month that is so focused on love and connection, I'm really excited to bring two amazing guests that are going to talk about love and legacies and connections that we can have in so many powerful ways. So I'm looking forward to our conversation. Excited to have all of you joining us today. And to help us all get the most out of our time together today, I want to invite you to take a deep breath in through the nose, all the way to your toes. Even stretch and wiggle your toes. Feel that breath. And then out through your mouth, like through a straw. Taking a breath like that can shift the energy in a moment. It can help you become very present. It can help you slow down. And when we slow down and become present, we can breathe in and receive everything that serves. Breathe out what no longer does. And as we do that and become more present, we lower our stress levels, our cortisol levels. We create room and space for ourselves and others. Sometimes we're moving so fast that we forget to stop and check in, and we can't even hear ourselves speaking to us, the messages coming through. So today I want to invite you to have an open heart, open ears, really ready to receive and be poured into, because I know there is something for you here today by the very nature of you tuning in. And I want you to receive everything that is here for you. So let's take a moment as we're breathing, we're becoming present, and claim this time as yours. A time to receive, a time to be poured into, and a time of purpose and allowing. And as we do that, I invite you to put both hands on your heart and close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. In through the nose. Breathe in through the nose. Keep that deep breath going. Beautiful. Feeling that heartbeat, eyes closed. And take a moment and notice the pause in between the heartbeats. And as you're noticing that, what is it speaking to you? What is it sharing with you? Beat by beat, pause by pause. What is it that you need today, real time, to support you on your journey? What do you need that you are willing to receive because you have choice? What is it that you need and are willing to receive? Beautiful. Take a breath. Receive that information, come back into the room, eyes open, fully present, and I invite you to take a moment and write down what was laid on your heart, what it is that you need and are willing to receive. Let's keep it top of mind during our conversation. Let's start to co-create it as you write it down, bring it into reality, because we move so fast at times, we can miss things right in front of us because we're not looking. So I invite you to look, be open, ready to receive. And with that, I'm going to go around our virtual room and have each of our guests share for just a moment. And with that, Kari, I'd love for you to share what was laid on your heart when you took a moment to stop, pause, and listen.
I love you.
I love that. I love you. How powerful. What a gift. Remember to pause and to receive love like that. I love it. Thank you, Kari.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Annie? What was laid on your heart?
The word support. And I really resonated with what you were saying about listeners coming in with an open heart and an open mind, because I think sometimes we hear a lot of information which may be unfamiliar, and it's easy to dismiss it or discredit it. But as you said, there is something here for everyone to listen to. So I would encourage that. It's open mind, open heart, open soul. And as you said, we're all here for a purpose and to hear things that are going to make a difference for us.
I love it. Thank you for sharing. Beautiful. That support and listening with an open heart and open mind. And I also love how you shared about not dismissing some of that information we're receiving because it might be new or unfamiliar, but really being open and receiving deeply. I love it. Thank you for sharing. Listeners, how about you? What was laid on your heart, your spirit, when you took a minute, just to pause, listen, and receive? What did you notice? What did you feel? Using all of your senses, what came forward? Perhaps you felt love. Maybe you felt support. Perhaps a new perspective already has come forward or bubbled up, something to consider. So as we go to our first commercial break, I want to invite you to stay present, to use these 2 minutes as commercials play in the background, to really be present, to really receive everything that's being laid on your heart and spirit. And we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Voice America programs are now available on your favorite connected device, including Amazon, Alexa, and Google Home. Through streams with Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio, listening to your favorite show is as easy as saying the show name followed by the word podcast.
Hey, Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast.
If that doesn't work, try adding on TuneIn or on iHeartRadio or on Apple Podcasts.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes, that pause. I hope you felt deep love and connection, that there's some great thoughts and ideas and insights that are already bubbling up just by us connecting in and slowing down. I'm really excited to introduce our first amazing guest, Kelley. She is a #1 international best-selling author, creator, producer, and performer of her one-woman shows. She's produced several of these, from Someone Else's Child to 3 chairs, and from garbage to gold. She's a singer, a performer, and has entertained audiences and VIPs in sold-out events throughout Northern California. She's the subject and star of the documentary Gifted Messenger, and she's absolutely passionate about helping all of us live resiliently and making the world a better place for our children. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful and dynamic and talented Kari Kelley to the show. Welcome.
Thank you so much. What an introduction. Oh, my goodness. I am so
Kari,
honored to be here today.
I am honored and thrilled to have you joining us today. And I know this is an especially busy time right now because you are getting ready to release a book, and that's coming forward. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. So I really appreciate you making time to talk with us today. So I wanted to start our conversation with, why is this work of really learning to live resiliently and helping to make the world a better place for our children and grandchildren, why is that work personally so important to you?
It is personal because I have lived it. I did not know how resilient I was until I was like into my 40s. I found my birth story and found out that I survived shaken baby syndrome and a traumatic brain injury when I was only 14 months old. And statistically, that's amazing. Once I realized that, and I realized I'm amazing, and then I realized that I'm still here, and the way I'm still here is a calling, it's a gift, it's a thing.
I love it. And I love how you're embracing that you are amazing and you have come through so much from that shaken baby syndrome that caused such trauma to all kinds of different abuses that you have come through and survived. And I know you share about it in your book and your shows. And I celebrate that you are here and that you are sharing your gifts and your talents in so many different ways, inspiring audiences and readers around the world. And I wanted to have you share a little bit about your new book that's coming out in early March. Just a little bit about the title and why you were led to bring this book forward.
The title is Living Resiliently, Black, Blind, and Female, The Journey Continues. Black, Blind, and Female was my very first book. And my life has changed so much since that book. I needed to update it. And so the journey continues. And this book also has tips at the end of each chapter to give people kind of like a guideline to help recognize their resilience and live from there. And live in that powerful place of knowing how resilient they've been and how resilient they are as they face new challenges.
Beautiful. I love that because you're right. We could miss how resilient we are, and recognizing that gives us courage and strength and a skill set we can tap into and bring forward in such powerful ways. And how does this tie into helping future generations and really making a difference, a loving legacy? I like to think of it, that you're really looking to make the world a better place. How does resiliency tie into that?
So you heard of the saying, hurt people hurt other people. Well, there's also the part of heal people heal other people. So if you are, if you have experienced abuse and you are still hurting and you have not had the healing process, it can carry through generation after generation. But if you can heal from the wounds, then the healing can go through generation to generation. And I feel like my part of the healing journey was to help people recognize that if you made it through those challenges and if you survived the abuse, there is help. There's a light at the end of that. And if you can focus on that light and share from that light and live from that light, the light will shine from you, around you, and fall on other people. They will be drawn to your light, and as your light shines on them, they can find the light within themselves. This is why I share my story, so that other people will feel permission and compelled to share their story, because I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one who is in the process of healing from wounds and sharing what I've gone through. And I just want the world to be a better place. I have 4 grandchildren now that I got to sneak up on being a grandma, because I didn't give birth, but I married a man whose son brought me 4 beautiful children of his, and I'm a grandma now. So looking at these children, I am compelled.
I love that. 4 beautiful grandchildren. I love it.
A better place. Yes.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And just a few of the nuggets I heard you share is that, healed people can help heal people, and that we can, in sharing our stories and shining that light, really make a powerful difference in the world and help make it a better place. And I see that sharing of gifts is really helping touch people's lives, and having that as we shine a light, it helps others shine their light. And we can really light up this world in such a powerful way. And by sharing our stories, sharing our journeys, it really does inspire and encourage each other and make such a difference. So I know you also have a powerful song, because you are a singer as well as a performer, and so many different talents. I love it. That you've prepared that really talks about sharing your story. So in a little bit, I'm going to have you share that song as well, and we'll let it speak to our hearts and our spirits. But before we do that, I want to circle back in on your book, Living Resiliently, because I know it's coming out very soon on March 9th. And for any of our regular listeners, you know that when we have the honor of having an author whose book is soon to come, we like you to know about it. So it will be on March 9th. Is that correct, Kari?
Yes, it is. I am so excited. So excited.
I know it's been in the works for a while, and we're thrilled it's coming and getting shared with the world on March 9th. It's already been receiving really powerful reviews. I got to read an advance copy, and I was deeply impacted by it as well. And I know that it will encourage listeners. And I love the tips to really help us live in a resilient way and to tap into that. So I want to encourage everyone to mark March 9th on their calendar, because that first 24 hours, she's going to be offering it at a special rate of $1.99, but it's only guaranteed for the first 24 hours in a Kindle format, digital format. And for those of you who are resonating with Kari, would like to know more, I encourage you to mark that date on your calendar. It'll be available on Amazon. We're going to be sharing it out in celebration, honor of Kari and the book as well on March 9th. So make sure to put that on the calendar. Anything you want to add to that, Kari?
I am just looking forward to people being moved and reading and experiencing the resilient life. I'm so excited.
Beautiful. Well, I am too, and I love how you have the bright yellow flower on the cover that kind of standing up. There's a darker background behind that, a little bit of a grayscale, and this bright, vibrant flower, living resiliently. And so be looking for the flower, be looking for the book, Living Resiliently, on March 9th. And then with that, Kari, I would love to have you share your beautiful song about sharing your story.
Okay, it's really short. If I can help somebody as I pass along, if I can cheer somebody with a word or a song, if I can show somebody that they're traveling wrong, then my living, then my story, then my message shall not be in vain.
Beautiful. Thank you, Kari. I lift that up. I invite everybody to lean in and know that you are loved, that you are resilient, that your story matters. And together, we can make the world a better place. Kari, any final tips or thoughts you would like to share with our listeners today about resiliency or loving ourselves and future generations?
I would encourage you to think about any challenges that you have already faced and already overcome and celebrate that.
Beautiful. Thank you, Kari. I appreciate it. Listeners, at the end of the show today, we'll share how you can connect with Kari and follow her, as well as our other amazing guest you'll get to meet in just a moment. But we are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do so, I encourage the beautiful words that Kari has shared. Give yourself time to let those pour into you. Really reflect on some of what she has shared and take a moment to stop, pause, and appreciate that you are here. You are needed. You matter. You are loved, and you are far more resilient than you know. And we will continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Voice America programs are now available on your favorite connected device, including Amazon, Alexa, and Google Home. Through streams with Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio, listening to your favorite show is as easy as saying the show name followed by the word podcast.
Hey, Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast.
If that doesn't work, try adding on TuneIn or on iHeartRadio or on Apple Podcasts.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and that opportunity to really feel and know how valuable you are, how resilient you are, and how loved. And our next amazing guest is going to be sharing about how loved you are in a different way. I think we have so much more love and connection around us and available to us than we know. So I'm very excited to introduce her to you. Annie Bourke is an international best-selling author, international animal communicator, and animal medium. She has conversations with animals in spirit and on this side of the veil, I will say, so animals and in spirit, to convey messages and provide peace of mind for their human parents. And I believe deep wisdom as well that she's able to tap into and share. She is passionate about raising global awareness of the importance of animals. Please lean in. Warmly welcome the powerful, dynamic, and connected Annie Bourke to the show. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Rebecca.
You are very, very welcome. Thrilled to have you joining us today. And I wanted to start our conversation with why. Why is this work around communicating and connecting with animals and sharing their messages, why is this work personally so important to you?
It's my life purpose to be an advocate for animals and to change global consciousness about animals. So I'm driven to explain to people that animals have souls. Unfortunately, that's not recognised in a lot of countries yet, but they do have souls. They understand everything that we say, and that surprises a lot of people, but some of them have a very sophisticated understanding of English, and they do understand what we say to them. They also feel emotions just like we do, and there's no coincidence that they're in our lives. There will be a special reason that they're with us. So for all those reasons, I want people to understand their animals on a deeper level, which means that they can have a more fulfilling relationship with them.
I love this. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And I also love that you're bringing in a global perspective as well, because I know Kari and I are here in the United States. And where are you joining us from?
I'm in Queensland on the east coast of Australia.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. So I love that we are connected around the world, very different times of day that we are connecting. I know it's very early in the morning for you, so I'm honored to have you connecting in and bringing this important information for animals and for us to understand and know about animals and the powerful connection that they do understand, and we bring great insight, information, and perspective and love into our life and into our journey. Anything you would add to that? Yeah,
the wisdom that they carry is just phenomenal, and I'm just amazed every conversation I have, finding out what they want to share. They're very attuned to their human parents, so they know when we start to get ill, our vibrational frequency drops, and they're very sensitive to frequency, so they will instinctively want to spend more time with us, helping us heal. They're also very attuned to our moods, so that if we're upset or sad, they'll try and do something goofy to make us laugh and change the mood. They're so supportive and so protective. But yes, the wisdom, some of them are very evolved spiritual beings, and so they can actually give us really helpful guidance about what we need to do next on our spiritual journey.
Wonderful. I love this. So as we expand some of our thinking around maybe how we've looked at animals in our life and open up a little bit more to how they are in our lives and how connected and attuned they are, is there something we should know or understand if we are blessed and privileged to have an animal in our life? As an animal parent, I know you call it an animal parent, how do they help us experience, understand love? Where are some of the ties in that for us and for them?
Yes, so there's so many different parts to answering that question. One of the main concepts is that animals actually help us to evolve our hearts, which is an integral part of our spiritual development journey. And for some people, having an animal is the only being that they interact with on a regular basis. So that's their only opportunity to experience love, and particularly unconditional love. So we go through phases of developing our hearts. So self-love first, and for some people that is a big challenge. And for some of our animals, it's a challenge to accept love as well. So for listeners who have an animal who may seem a bit aloof or not wanting to receive love, that may be one of their soul lessons that they're here to learn. And I've actually spoken with a number of animals, and that's been the situation, that they've particularly gone to that human so that they can help them to understand love. But they definitely help us to experience love and the wisdom that they can bring in to help us as we develop. They can also do things to support us from a place of love. So animals can actually take on some of our health symptoms for us so that we don't have to bear the full brunt of the condition. And that's a huge act of love. It's not something we ask them to do, but they just love being of service to us and helping us. So quite often I'll get asked why an animal's got certain symptoms, and I'll say, who else in the household has the same symptoms? And it's just uncanny how many times that happens. They can also help us from the other side. So for listeners who have animals in spirit, our animals can show us love by coming back and having energetic visits with us. And some people think they're going crazy when they think they've seen their animal, but I've had so many clients tell me that they've seen their animals running up and down the corridor, or they've heard them vocalise, or they've actually felt them jump up on the bed or pat them with a paw. And that's another phenomenal way that they show us that love relationship we have with them endures. It doesn't stop once they pass to the other side. They can also come and visit us in a dream or a meditation, and we can ask them to come and visit us. But then the most powerful expression of love that they've taught me is the fact that their souls can reincarnate. Now, unfortunately, this doesn't happen with every animal, but it happens so frequently, and it's such a beautiful part of my conversation, finding out that they know that they've got a body to come back into and that they can reunite with their family and have another lifetime of love. Really helps the grief process for the animal and the human, and it's just a phenomenal outcome to have your animal back again.
Thank you for sharing just so much insight and things to think about and consider, and that love and that willingness to connect so deeply, so that sharing of some of our symptoms to help ease what we are experiencing or struggling with, or helping bear some of the brunt of that so that we can heal, is amazing. And the visiting of us, so anyone who's experienced that out there, you are not alone. And a spirit coming and visiting you, an animal continuing to stay connected with you even when they have passed, and that deep love that we have an opportunity to show that being love and to receive love in such deep and powerful ways. So I'm curious, as you think back on some of what you have shared with us, is there something that stands out in your mind that is an example or demonstrates some of that profound love that animals have for us that they really want us to know and kind of bring back into the world?
I think the experiences of so many clients with their animals coming back, and particularly when they're not expecting it or they weren't aware that it could happen. I've had some clients where it's been their childhood pet who's reincarnated, and yes, they may have thought that there was something familiar about them, but they weren't aware that reincarnation could actually happen. And I had no idea it could happen until one of my cats let me experience it, so that I could then write about it, but also then support so many more parents to experience it. So I've got one lady at the moment whose dog we've had conversations with. He's in spirit. He's actually had 3 lifetimes with her as a dog, and she didn't know all of those connections. She's very intuitive, and she thought he had been with her before, but not that he'd been a childhood animal. And he's now about to come back for the 4th lifetime in a row to be with her as a dog again. And that's just so powerful, because each time we lose an animal, there's, that grief process to go through, and we just miss them so much, their physical presence. But knowing that they can come back again, and that's so powerful for healing for our heart and for them as well. So all about love. But I think that's one of the most phenomenal expressions of love that I work with on a daily basis with my clients.
Thank you for sharing that. And as you were sharing that, just what I felt in my heart and spirit, what profound love and connection to come back 4 times, 4 lifetimes to be together. And it's beautiful.
Yeah. And so as part of that, they're showing us that the love relationship that we have with them endures. It just doesn't stop when their physical presence goes. And I've spoken with a dog who passed over more than 20 years ago. So that's the other thing they've taught me, that the soul endures and that we can always contact them. We're never truly separated from them. So again, it's reassuring that that deep relationship we have continues. And one of the most powerful things that we can do to deepen our relationship and that love with our animals is to talk with them, because they understand everything that we say. If we just have a running conversation with them, and it doesn't matter if we're talking about doing the washing up or hanging out the washing or whatever it is, they just love being involved in what we're doing and hearing our voice. They love being told that we love them. They know that, but to hear us say it and using those high vibrational words like, I love you and I'm grateful that you're in my life, that's really profound for our animals, and that really deepens the relationship, just having those conversations.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate it. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about is it one book or multiple books, just to let people know more ways they can get more of you and more information?
Yes, certainly. I've actually published 2 books. So my first book, The Bridge to Animal Consciousness, supports my mission of raising global awareness about animals. So I talk about soul journeys for animals, why they're here, the benefits of animal communication, telepathic communication, which is what I do, some of the interesting conversations I've had with animals in zoos and in the wild, and practical things that we can do to help support animals. And then my second book, Evolving Hearts and Souls, The Guide to Spiritual Awakening, I wrote because when I had my spiritual awakening, I had no idea that you could wake up, and I had no idea that I was waking up, and I couldn't find anyone to help me. So I've written this book based on some of my experiences to help make that journey less confronting and easier to navigate for people, because it's easy to feel on your own and confused, and it totally changes your understanding of reality when you wake up to your spiritual purpose and know that there's more meaning to life. And I'm actually writing my 3rd book at the moment because the animals have continued to share so much wisdom with me, particularly about their soul journeys and reincarnation and why they're with us, and those deep soul connections that I feel as though I need to share that next a lot of information with people to honour the wisdom that the animals have shared with me.
Beautiful. And do you have a target date for when we could watch for that?
No, I'll have to share that information out. At the moment, I've got my animals sharing their information with me so that it's their book as well. So just taking it bit by bit with what they want to teach me. And like some of the concepts they've taught me over the past 10 years have totally changed my world. I had no idea that some of these things could happen. They've just totally opened my eyes up to what really happens in the animal world and how intelligent they are and intuitive, and what they know about their humans and the advice that they can give to help us.
Beautiful. Oh, well, I'm excited to see that unfold and come forward. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing. We are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do that, listeners, I want you to think about some of what Annie has shared and think about some of those interactions you have had with animals in your life, whether it's you have an animal that's living with you, or perhaps interaction with animals in the wild or even in the zoo. Just take a moment as we go to these next 2 minutes to just reflect on some of what Annie has shared and that profound connection and love that is available and there for us to receive and to give. We'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Voice America is on your favorite smart speaker. If you have Alexa or Google Home, go ahead and give us a try.
Hey Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast on TuneIn.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You need to live up to your full potential. You've heard that for years, but now there's a channel to help you get there. Introducing the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Our listeners have told us that they want to be motivated, hear about success stories, and positive encouragement around the clock. And we've responded to you. The Voice America Empowerment Channel is the home of the world's top life coaches, entrepreneurs, and success experts. Listen to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's here at voiceamericaempowerment.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. I want to invite you to think back on our conversation today and think back to the very beginning where you felt in and really discovered, listened to what it is that you need today, what it is that will encourage, empower, and support you. And as you reflect on our time together today, and all that has been shared about resiliency, love, connection, communication, some things that have really spoken to you. I want to invite you at the end of the show today is to take a couple of minutes just for you to process, to receive, to breathe in deeply all that serves, and then to take action based on what you've discovered or what has encouraged and empowered you, those things that have touched you. Don't just put them on the to-do, someday maybe I'll get to list. Instead, really choose a way to be that, to breathe it in, to integrate it, and that knowing. Because once you know something, you can't unknow it. And choose to move forward in that knowing, in that truth, as you step forward into the day. So really take a moment and time for you. And I hope that you have had some great insights, ahas, things that have touched your heart and spirit, perhaps thinking about how resilient you are, that you are here today, have survived, and are far more resilient than you know, that you are deeply loved, that there's this powerful, profound connection that is available to you. Have you felt that? Are you open to that? Connecting deeply and powerfully with animals in your life, that there's a purpose in that, there's a meaning, there's a depth in that available to you. So being open to receiving all of that in your life. And I want you to be able to be supported on your journey. So I'm going to have our experts share their contact information in just a moment. And I want to invite you to write it down. We're giving and sharing it with you on purpose. These are truly an opportunity for you to connect in and have that opportunity to connect and reach out. That this journey can continue with them beyond today's moment in time. So I want to invite you to write that down. Pay attention to the resources they're making available, the books that are available. Both of them have books coming out, so you can stay connected on that and have books out. So wonderful resources that you can tap into. We had mentioned that Kari's book is coming up to be released on March 9th. So paying attention to that as well. You can hear my cat in the background. She is chiming in. That is Darla joining our conversation today as well. So she's reaching out to all of our listeners as we connect in and join in today. So listen for the connection. Listen for those opportunities to lean and connect and go further. Also, for those of you who are looking to make the world a better place, you have information or a message that you're really looking to get out and touch people's hearts and lives, I want to encourage you to check out the speakertalentsearch.com, speakertalentsearch.com, and that's a way that we can connect, learn more about you, and have opportunities open up to you to be on shows like ours. So I encourage you to check that out, speakertalentsearch.com. And with that, Kari, I'd love for you to share your contact information.
Okay. My website is voicesofresilience.com. That's voicesofresilience.com. And my email is Kari, Kari, at voicesofresilience.com. Kari at voicesofresilience.com.
Perfect. And where can they find your books as well?
Everything is on my website. You can find my books there, my music, I'm singing there. I have my one-woman show From Garbage to Gold, and the documentary that's 8 minutes is Gifted Messenger. All of that is on my website at voicesofresilience.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing. I appreciate it. And then, Annie, I would love for you to share what is the best way for people to connect in, learn more, as well as access your beautiful books too.
Great, thank you. My website is www.cosmicheartintuitive.com.au. So that's www.cosmicheartintuitive.com.au. You can also connect with me on social media on Facebook and LinkedIn, Annie, Annie, and Bourke, Bourke. And my email is chintuitive@bigpond.com. My books are available on Amazon as ebooks or paperbacks, and my podcast is called What Animals Tell Me, and that's available on podcast platforms including Spotify. I do have a free guide on my website for animal parents who are looking at bringing home a new animal to their household and introducing them with less stress and more harmony. And I also have some resources for bereaved animal parents. So if people are interested, please contact me and I'm happy to email them to you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for making so much information and resources available to us in this important work. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. And listeners, I want to thank you for joining us today. I hope that you've had some great insights and things that have touched your heart and spirit. I know that I have. And I love that I can take a moment today and remember how resilient I am. I love that reminder that Kari has given us. I love that I can also take a moment and deeply connect with Darla, who I am privileged and honored to have in my life, and just really honor and appreciate that connection and opportunity that we have in being together and having her in my life. So I want to encourage you to really take some time and see what's speaking to you. What are some of your takeaways that you can embrace and really lean into? With that, I'm going to go around the room one last time for a final quick tip or insight from our amazing experts. So, Kari, do you have a quick final tip or insight for us?
Think about one of your challenges, write it down, and be grateful that you got through it.
Nice. Thank you. How about you, Annie? A quick tip, final thought?
Yes. Remember to talk with your animals every day and know that anything is possible, miracles happen, and dreams come true.
Beautiful. Thank you. Well, listeners, again, thank you for leaning in to our conversation today. It is an honor and privilege to have you joining us. And as you go back out into the world, I want to encourage you and remind you that you are absolutely beautifully and wonderfully made, designed especially for a time such as this. So choose to be present, choose to be connected. And the biggest gift you can give the world is more of you. So be willing to lean into your gifts, connections, insights, those things that speak to you, those things that make you who you are. Be willing to fully lean into that and share that with the world, heart by heart, life by life. Be willing to bloom where you are planted and shine. Have a great week, everyone, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.